What is going on, everybody? Today we are at the Utah International Auto Expo. We're going to check out some new cars and review some of the latest models. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so this is the all-new next generation 2023 Toyota Sequoia. This one in particular is the TRD Pro trim, as you can see over here on the side. And so you do have a few off-road goodies that I actually talked about in a review I did of the Toyota Tundra TRD Pro, which I'm going to link up on the screen as well, so you guys can check that out. This thing does look pretty good, and a lot of the components are shared with the current generation Toyota Tundra that just came out about a year ago. Overall, I think the Sequoia needed an improvement from the prior gen because that one was out since I think 2009. I think they did a good job with this one. Pricing for the Sequoia starts at $58,365, and it's really not bad when you start considering all the features that come on this vehicle. There's only one engine option on this, and that is the iForce Max 3.5 liter twin turbo V6 hybrid. What's interesting about this engine is you have the hybrid powertrain running in parallel with the internal combustion engine, and that produces a whopping 437 horsepower and 583 pound-feet of torque. So you get over 400 horsepower in a standard 3-row Sequoia. That's pretty impressive because not all of the competition offer that much horsepower with 3-row capabilities in a vehicle of this size. The vehicle is able to achieve that because the electric motor alone offers 48 horsepower on top of the internal combustion engine. So it's kind of a good medley of EV and internal combustion working in unison to provide even more power and greater fuel economy. And let's talk about fuel economy. You get 21 in the city and 24 on the highway for a combined 22, which is really impressive for a vehicle of this size. It's a behemoth, and that is all paired to a 10-speed automatic transmission. There's no CVT here. For all of you, myself included, that do not like CVT transmission, towing capacity on this thing is just over 9,000 pounds, which is close to being a class leader. So this can likely tow any accessories or toys that you would like it to without having to upgrade to a full-size pickup truck. Now, you can get the Toyota Sequoia in either rear-wheel drive or all-wheel drive. Ground clearance for this thing is also pretty impressive. You're looking at 8.6 inches for the standard Sequoia and 9.1 inches for this TRD Pro edition. Okay, now let's jump inside, which I think you'll find this interior is very similar to the Toyota Tundra, which makes sense because again, they share a lot of components. Starting off with the door panel, very similar Toyota Tundra. I do like this blue accent stitching that they've used on this interior. Lots of leather touch surfaces here, which feels really nice. And you do get heated seats as standard on every single Sequoia now, and they feel pretty good. They're pretty large, pretty wide, nice leather bolstering, and again, a little bit more of that blue stitching. Now, climbing inside, let me show you what that looks like. You do have an all-digital 12.3-inch display as standard, which is really nice to have on a vehicle of this price point. Coming over here on the center display, there's two options. You can get an 8-inch or this upgraded 14-inch multimedia display. That is huge. A lot of the competitors do about 12.3 inches. This one is 14, and then you do have the same type of switchgear that you find in the Toyota Tundra, and it feels really good. It's got like a rubbery feel to it, and then you do have your climate control buttons down here. You have your different 360-degree camera functions. You have a wireless charger here. You've got your gear selector, two cup holders, a large slot over here that you can open up to get access into the center arm console, another little storage compartment under here, and then you can open this compartment up and you have a safe built in over here. Now, this is an accessory. This doesn't come standard on every Sequoia, but that's just some of the functionality with how large this center arm console is. You have two more cup holders back here. The rest of the dash looks very similar, again, to the Toyota Tundra. You do have a little bit more of that nice stitching. This is all leather touch surfaces. And then jumping to the steering wheel before we jump to the back. On the left-hand side, you have your controls for this gauge cluster. On the right-hand side is your cruise control functions. And then over to the right, you do have a trailer brake controller, which is nice to have if you're towing up to 9,000 pounds on this vehicle. Okay, now jumping into the second row, you do have the captain chair set up here, but you can get up to 8 seating as well, so that middle seat can be a seat as well if you need a little bit more of that cargo capacity. You do have a little sunshade over here for the second row to block some of the sunlight, giving it kind of a luxurious feel. Again, a little bit more of that soft touch material. Feels really nice here in the second row. And then talking about legroom, Toyota says you can get 39 inches of legroom back here. And then jumping into the third row, which I can't seem to access because there's no power to this vehicle, you can get up to 34 inches of legroom back there, and it looks pretty spacious. I mean, that's what you would expect from a full-size 3-row SUV. Before we jump to the cargo, I do want to mention the speaker system. You do have an 8-speaker system as standard, but you can get all the way up to a 14-speaker JBL audio system on the Sequoia. Now, jumping into the cargo volume, the third row is standard on all Sequoias, no matter what trim level you get. And with the third row up and the seat seats slid all the way forward, you can get up to 22.3 cubic feet of space behind the third row. If the third row is slid all the way back, you're only going to get 11.5. But if you fold down the second row entirely, you can get 49 cubic feet of space behind the second row. That's pretty impressive. Now, you do have automatic raise and lower for the third row, which makes it a little bit easier instead of having to pull any type of lever. And then Sequoias do come with this adjustable shelf. So depending on what level you put it on over here, you can put quite a bit of weight on this shelf over here and separate the cargo between the top and the bottom, which is really unique and something that I haven't seen on other vehicles. But you can also put this down all the way to the bottom floor and just give you a flat loading surface. Now, typical to other Japanese manufacturers, Toyota does offer Toyota's Safety Sense as standard. It's actually Safety Sense 2.5, which includes blind spot monitoring, lane keep assist, all of the standard suite of safety features that you would expect from any modern vehicle. Other thing I want to mention is the warranty. So this does have your typical new car warranty, but Toyota does also offer a 96-month, 100,000-mile warranty on the hybrid systems and a 10-year, 150,000-mile warranty on the battery alone. So that's probably one of the best in the industry compared to some of the new EVs that are coming into the market. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for all of the weekly car videos. Also, check me out on all the social media down in the description below at Schwazy_. Until next time, everybody, I hope you stay Schwazy, stay healthy, have a wonderful day.